Sometimes it's not that anything is wrong. It's just that if you can predict the whole night from start to finish, your brain is no longer impressed. Because in theory, spontaneous intimacy sounds amazing. In reality, sometimes you're like, how have I been alive all day? I need a minute. Hi ladies. Today we are talking about something that I think doesn't get talked about honestly enough. Sometimes your sex life needs more than a date night. And I know that sounds a little dramatic, but just stay with me, because I feel like once you're in a long-term relationship, or honestly just adulthood in general, everyone acts like the solution is the same. They're like,
go to dinner,
light a candle, book a hotel, put on a matching set, and suddenly you're supposed to be this mysterious, glowing, stress-free woman with the perfect libido and no mental load and just in the mood. Meanwhile, in real life, you've answered 47 calls, your to-do list is staring at you from across the room, your body feels bloated, your brain won't shut up, and now somebody wants you to get in the mood because you split a mozzarella appetizer? Like, okay, I love date night, I do. And I'm not anti-date night. I am anti-pretending that date night alone is going to solve everything. Because sometimes the issue is not romance. Sometimes the issue is stress. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's routine. Sometimes it's body confidence. Sometimes it's sensitivity changes, hormone changes. And sometimes it's your brain still doing admin work in the middle of foreplay. And I think that's why this topic matters, because a lot of women start internalizing this idea that if their sex life feels off, something is wrong with them. When really, sometimes you don't need to try harder. Sometimes you just need better tools. Sometimes you need more sensation. Sometimes you need less pressure. Sometimes you need to feel more connected with yourself first. And that's really what I wanted this video to be. Not awkward, not fake, not one of those videos where someone acts like they just discovered pleasure last Tuesday and now they're here to enlighten us all. Like, this is not just content for me. This is my lifestyle. I talk about this because I genuinely think women deserve better than vague advice and like performative romance tips. And I also think a lot of us are out here trying to revive our sex lives with the equivalent of a salad and a prayer. Sometimes you need support. Sometimes you need sensation. Sometimes you need relaxation. Sometimes you need novelty. Sometimes you need lube. Actually, a lot of the times you need lube. So if your sex life has been feeling a little too scheduled, or maybe non-existent, or a little too routine, or a little too, we should make time for that, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through products that I actually like, how I think about them in real life. Meaning not just what they are, but the problem that they solve. Not what's trendy, not what's viral. Why would I use this? And when would I reach for it? That's the part I care about. Let's get into it. Before I jump in, I just want to say this too. Not every product is for every person. And that's the whole point. I think a lot of frustration happens because women buy one thing, it doesn't change their life overnight, and then they think, well, maybe I'm not a toy person, or maybe my body is the issue, or maybe I'm just too stressed, or maybe my drive is gone. And sometimes it's just that you picked the wrong category for the issues you're having. Like, if you need external stimulation, an internal toy isn't gonna become your soulmate. If the issue is dryness, no amount of trying to relax is going to replace a good lube. If the issue is tension, you may need something that helps your body unwind before you try to get to the fun. We know that we have internal and external stimulation. So for my ladies that like more than one stimulation, a lot of ladies will reach for a rabbit. A lot of rabbit toys feel very aggressive. doing too much entirely. If you are in that boat where you're like, I want a rabbit, but maybe the ones that you've tried aren't working for you, the Simone Dual Tapping Rabbit. This is great if you want that blended feeling without it feeling chaotic. What I have found with this toy, what I have learned about my own body, is that sometimes the problem is not that your body isn't responsive. The toy feels like it was designed by somebody who has never met a vagina or like a woman's pelvic area. This one is going to give you that dual stimulation, which is helpful if you need both internal and external attention to really get there. The tapping element makes it feel different from the standard like buzz situation that can start to feel repetitive. I've tried a lot of rabbits and I've never experienced one like Simone. Now you don't have to have both motors on. You can just have this one on, turn this one off. You can just have this one on, turn this one off. If you're really trying to turn up, you can have both of them on. It definitely is an experience. And sometimes it's not lack of desire, it's that your body wants more dimension. So if you're someone who knows you like internal and external stimulation together, but you don't want something that feels overly intense, this can get intense if you turn it all the way up, but it's not going to be overly intense right out of the gate. This is such a good option. I love you, Simone. You're my girl. Now we're going to move on to my ladies that want external, more clitoral stimulation, and you want more of an elevated, less numbing than like say a traditional vibrator. The Vibrating 2. This thing right here, I wish every woman owned this toy, and I wish we could sit in a room and have a drink, a beer, coffee, I don't care what it is, and talk just about this toy. The Vibrating 2 is perfect when your body responds better to targeted air pulse sensation versus a direct contact vibration. A lot of women don't realize that they're not hard to please. They're just overstimulated by the wrong stimulation. This is one of those toys I think that really helps if you are someone who has ever thought like, why do I start out really enjoying this and then suddenly I go numb? Direct vibration is amazing for some people. And for others, it can get intense too fast. And that's when your body checks out and now you're annoyed. The Vibrating 2 is great because it gives a different kind of sensation. It's more teasing, it's more focused. And for a lot of women, it feels just more luxurious and less like you are trying to like power through something. This is also a good one if you want something that feels more modern and intuitive. Like with this toy, it doesn't feel like you're in a science project in the dark. So if you're someone that feels like traditional stimulation is like too harsh or too repetitive, this one is your solution. The cool thing about this one, it's really, really quiet. It might be dead. Okay, so this toy is on right now. If you get this and you're like, it's not turning on, no, it's on. It only starts working when it makes contact. Isn't that so cool? It's not bulky. This is great for partner play too because it is, you know, sleek. If you're thinking about getting a toy, please get this one. All right, this next one is for my ladies that want something that is strong, reliable, and effective. And I've talked about this one before. I think I'll always talk about this one. And they actually recently just had a price drop, so they're cheaper now. The Magic Wand Rechargeable. This is the grown woman version of not playing games. This toy is the answer for the person who is tired of wasting time on toys that are cute but unpowered. So if you are like, I need more intensity, you need this. This has been around forever. And there are certain products like this that have been around forever for a reason, because they work. This is for the days when you do not want mystery. You don't want confusion. You don't want a learning curve. You want results. Because honestly, not every experience has to be this journey. Sometimes you don't want exploration. Sometimes you want efficiency. And this is just really good for people whose bodies need stronger stimulation. So if you want power and you want consistency, this is it. This next one is great for those of you that prefer something smaller, more approachable, less intimidating. This is the Joue Mimi Deux. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a softer entry point for someone who wants versatility without a bulky design. Sometimes the issue is not desire, it's intimidation. And I think this is a good reminder that not everybody wants the biggest, boldest toy in their drawer. Sometimes you want something that feels a little more manageable. Even though this is small, it's still powerful. And this isn't a buzzy toy. The vibration that this gives is very rumbly. This side has texture. This side is silky smooth. This has 5 speeds and 7 patterns. It's very, very quiet. So if you're looking for something more discreet, it's completely waterproof. And this is designed to stimulate the whole vulva, not just one targeted area. And it feels really, really cool. Because sometimes you just want something that is, like I said, more manageable, a little bit more elegant, and a little less like it's making demands of you. And I think that matters because I feel like if a product feels intimidating, you're less likely to reach for it, then you're less likely to use it. And if you're less likely to use it, it doesn't matter how good it is in theory, especially if you are in a season where you're just trying to connect with your body. And you don't want to start with something super intense. I feel like this is a great middle ground. And I just love this color. It is such a vibe. And most toys come with a little bag like this. I like to keep the booklet and the charger all together. Organization. This next one, if you are curious about anal play, but you want something that feels safe, comfortable, and something that's actually designed for pleasure instead of fear. This is the B-Vibe Vibrating Snug Plug 2. This is gonna help take the intimidation out of anal exploration by combining comfort and vibration. Because sometimes the biggest issue is not physical, it is mental tension. I know that this is one of those categories. People are curious, but maybe a little scared. And honestly, that makes sense. Super, super quiet, very silky and smooth. Got the stopper, you need that. So there's one size smaller than this. I recommend this size because the size that is smaller, you might as well use your pinky. We're trying to get things going. And then there are 4 sizes bigger than this, 6 in total. This is the perfect size. If your only exposure to booty products has been either bad information or overly intense marketing, of course, you're gonna feel intimidated. What I like about something like this is it makes the experience feel more approachable and more pleasure focused. If you've never tried a vibrating anal plug, I highly, highly recommend this one. B-Vibe is known for these kind of products. So the vibration is going to add another layer, which makes the experience feel less clinical and more enjoyable. The number 1 tip I can give you is relaxation is everything here. A huge issue for a lot of women with anal is tension. People assume it's all about toughness or tolerance when really it's about comfort, it's about prep, it's about going slow. So if you've been trying to dive into this category, I feel like this is the perfect place to start. I think this is the perfect option for someone who is curious and wants to explore in a more intentional, less intimidating way. So maybe you're like, yes, Casey, I've been wanting to explore backdoor play. Thank you for talking about this. And maybe you're saying, I'm afraid of discomfort. I am afraid of friction, and those are the main things that are holding me back. Now, this is exactly what I mean when I say your sex life needs more than a date night. Because hear me when I say, no amount of chemistry is going to replace the very real need for proper lubrication. So many people skip over that and go straight to wondering why something felt uncomfortable. Intimate Earth Plush addresses the actual practical issue: glide, comfort, ease. Sometimes the solution is not sexier advice, it's just better prep. Ooh, works great as a hand moisturizer. So this is one of those products that if your issue is friction and discomfort, this is your solution, especially for anal play. That's what it's made for. Remember, it's okay to have tools to support your experience. It's actually very necessary. It's gonna make things smoother, it's gonna make things safer, and way less stressful. I think sometimes women feel embarrassed buying the practical stuff because it doesn't feel glamorous. The practical stuff is the glamorous stuff. Comfort is sexy. Feeling prepared is sexy. Not clenching because you're nervous is sexy. So if you are in the boat of like, I'm curious about backdoor play, but I've tried it and it's uncomfortable, thank me later, okay? You're welcome. I just wanted to share my favorite toy cleaner. This is the Wicked Clean Toy Cleaner, and it basically just makes the after part a whole lot easier, which means you're actually likely to use it. And listen, you might be like, I'll just run it under some water. Why do I need a toy cleaner? Because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your toy, okay? And you want to use an antibacterial. And my toys are an investment. Like, I'm not buying this shit off of Temu. Like, I got the good stuff, you know? So I want to take care of them, and I want to have them for a very, very, very long time. And I don't want to get an infection. Ew, gross, yuck. Clean your toys when you're done with them, ladies. Not later, right after. I also want to talk about the people that are in relationships that are in this kind of, we'll call it a rut. Things feel very routine and you feel kind of stuck doing the same thing every time. Because sometimes the issue is not attraction, it's sameness. The Wicked Sensation Kit. Now this is great for couples or individuals who want novelty and want that playful variety. This is for the people who are not necessarily struggling with desire, but are, again, struggling with that repetition. Because let's be honest, sometimes it's not that anything is wrong. It's just that if you can predict the whole night from start to finish, your brain is no longer impressed. And that is so normal. And that's why we're having this conversation, because novelty matters, anticipation matters, play matters. So a sensation kit like this is just a really easy way to kind of break out of your autopilot without making it this like giant awkward production. They invite curiosity back in. They wake up senses, and they just make things feel playful instead of scheduled. And sometimes that is exactly what your sex life needs. Not more effort, just more variation. Okay, so these are both water-based. Couple pro tips when using these. So we have a chill and we have a heat. You can use these on your toys. You can try a blindfold and kind of make a game of sensory play. These do all of the work, but they are so fun. And again, if you're just wanting to kind of elevate the experience, try something new, but you don't want anything that is too intimidating, you want something easy peasy, try these. Okay, let's talk about dryness. I know that this is kind of a sensitive subject for some ladies, but when you have dryness, you have discomfort, and you know, sometimes things just are not flowing the way you want them to. Sometimes the issue is not desire, it's friction. This is also from Wicked. I love Wicked products. They make such good products. This is the Timeless Silicone Lube. It is going to give you a smooth, comfortable experience with better stain power. So you know, sometimes when you use lube, you need more, right? What I love about this is that you don't have to keep on putting it on. It sticks around for a while. And I'm going to say something that I think should be said way more often. Needing lube is not a failure. It's not a relationship thing. It's not a something is wrong with me thing. And when I was younger, I would never use it, like ever. I didn't want anything to do with it because I'm like,
I don't need that. I Stimulant.
No, girl, use the lube. It's a smart thing. If you're kind of in that mind frame, just know that like our bodies change, our hormones change, our stress changes everything. Sometimes you're into it mentally, but your body still needs some support, and that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not in menopause yet. Definitely, probably, highly likely in perimenopause. The Simply Timeless line from Wicked was actually formulated for women in perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. All right, now you don't have to be an old wise lady like myself to use this. And also, you don't have to just use this for boning. You can use this as a daily moisturizer for your vagina. I am moisturizing my vagina like I do my face. I don't know about you, but discomfort for me, instant mood killer. And you know, when things feel smoother, you can stay present and you're not mentally drafting complaints. Highly, highly recommend. Now, if you want to explore internal pleasure and G-spot stimulation, but you need something designed to support that specifically, this is the Orgasm Rainfall Stimulant G-spot. Very, very useful when you want to focus on internal sensation and more targeted arousal. So if you are approaching your pleasure the same way every time, this is your sign to switch it up. This is something that I recently picked up. I think a lot of women kind of stay in one lane because it's familiar, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we don't realize what our body really likes until you try something built for a different experience. I tease my partner and I call it the magic stuff. It truly does feel whimsy and magical. So it's a lubricant gel. I'm trying to find words to describe it. It has like this hot cold effect. I've never felt anything like this. So again, this is internal. All right, it's gonna target your G-spot, which is really helpful again, because if your current routine feels very one-dimensional, this is one of those products that is going to help women reconnect with curiosity around their bodies. Not from a performance standpoint, more from a discovery standpoint. So experiencing something like this, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that something like this was possible type thing. And I feel like that's the missing piece from a lot of women's like pleasure routines is they don't know what feels good to them. They don't know what kind of pressure they like. They don't know what kind of shape they like what sensations have I not yet experienced. And I feel like I'm showing you guys like a lip gloss. Now I want to talk about feeling fresh, confident before or after intimacy, especially if spontaneity is part of the plan. If you're at home and you know you're doing the scheduled routine thing, you can shower and blah blah blah. But sometimes it's spontaneous. When it comes to feeling fresh, that's what's going to give you your confidence, right? The Joue Freshie wipes. I love these for the convenience factor. You know, sometimes you're not prepared. I live in Arizona. It gets warm. And now I always feel prepared. I have these in my purse. It's kind of like a little hand wipey. I actually think products like this matter a lot more than people realize, because sometimes the thing getting in your way is not desire. It's that you don't feel fresh or prepared or mentally relaxed enough to enjoy yourself. And confidence plays a huge role in your pleasure. One of those little quality of life products that make that spontaneous moment feel more realistic, because in theory spontaneous intimacy sounds amazing. In reality, sometimes you're like, how have I been alive all day? I need a minute. I love that they're not like soaking wet. I've tried some wipes that they're just like dripping and I'm like These are made for sensitive skin, so we have organic aloe vera, coconut water, cranberry fruit extract, no added parabens, phthalate, pH balance, and vagina friendly. We got plant-based fabric, hypoallergenic, discreet, easy, convenient packaging, vegan, and cruelty free. It's one of those things that help remove that like mental barrier of not feeling ready. Something about this fragrance just helps me like get into the right headspace. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I shared this new line from Simply Sexy, and I went in store. They have testers, so I smelled them all. Now I thought I was gonna get the vanilla one because I love anything vanilla scented. I love it. But then I smelled this one. This is the Simply Sexy Skinny Dip Hair and Body Fragrance Mist. If you want something that helps set the mood, makes you feel sensual before anything even starts. This is literally, it smells like summer. It smells like I should be on a beach. It gives like a warm coconutty, I think there's some musk in here maybe. Splash of coconut milk, jasmine, sun-kissed orange, wrapped in a soft musk and golden amber. Warm, wild, and a little bit naughty. That describes this perfectly. Oh my God, it smells so good. It smells so good. Also for a body mist, I am so impressed at how long lasting this is. Like I'll spray it in the morning and like I'll be out running errands, doing stuff. It'll be like noon and I can still smell it. And I have gotten so many compliments. Like, what perfume is that? I'm like, it's not a perfume, it's a body mist. It's one of those scents that just make you feel sexy, make you feel playful, make you just, I feel more embodied. And I like that it doesn't make my hair feel like greasy or weird. It doesn't do anything to my hair, it just makes it smell good. So Skinny Dip is my favorite. I am obsessed. If you go into Fascination stores, again, they have testers, smell Skinny Dip. I'm a big believer that pleasure starts before the bedroom. It starts in how you feel in your body. It starts in your mood. It starts whether you feel disconnected from yourself or actually in touch with yourself. And that's why I like products like this. It just kind of supports the atmosphere, the ritual, like the energy of it all. Feel like a good fragrance that you connect with. It kind of just, it's that bridge. It makes the experience feel more intentional, more sensual, and like a whole mood instead of like feeling like a rushed task. This is Happy Mind. It's a microdose of shrooms. I tried it for the first time February 14th. I remember because I was in Phoenix, I was doing an event and I started my period and I was just like miserable. My friend was like, hey, have you tried Happy Mind? And I was like, no. She's like, it's new, we just got it in. And I was like, okay, let me try one. She's like, only take half. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I really struggle on my period. And I had to be around a bunch of people. So I didn't take this until we got back to the hotel because I was a little nervous. We split one and we were watching like Family Feud. And all of a sudden, it was like 30 to 40 minutes. I just felt so silly. I went from being like miserable to just kind of like laughing at everything. Like everything I said felt silly. That's the best word I can use to describe it. I felt silly and light. I was like, how are you feeling? He was like, I feel good. And he was like, how is this stuff legal? The maker of this actually created this for his wife because she wanted to stop drinking. I didn't feel like I was catapulted into another universe. It was this very like, almost like you feel kind of buzzed. So there's one tablet, there's 4 servings. The recommended dose is 1/4 of a tablet. I did half the first time and it was perfect. Like I didn't need any more, I didn't need any less. Like half a tablet was just, it was so fun. You definitely get like the tingles a little bit, like in a good way, nothing that's like uncomfortable. You just got to try it for yourself. If you do try this, I need you to come back and tell me your experience because mine was great. And my nail tech also, she loved it. But it's also great for just when your nervous system feels fried. Everything feels hard, connection feels hard, pleasure feels harder, presence feels harder. So it's not about like forcing a mood, right? It's more about supporting a state where you can actually soften and enjoy yourself. And honestly, that's one of the biggest themes of this whole video. Sometimes the sex life issue is not, we need a reservation at 7. Sometimes it's, I need to feel like a human being again. So if you feel like you need to relax a little bit, which most of us do, this is a great way to support your mood and to relax. And again, just kind of feel silly. To have on hand for when you just need a little Happy Mind. I love the name. It's so fitting. If you're into like shrooms and stuff, I think you're really gonna like that. Your sex life is part of your life. It's affected by your stress, your hormones, your confidence, your routines, your relationship dynamic, your energy, your body. So when something feels off, I think the answer is not to shame yourself or panic or assume the spark is gone forever. What I have learned is sometimes you just need to get more honest about what the actual issue or issues are. So some important questions I'd like to invite you to ask. I have these in my pleasure journal. Yes, I have a pleasure journal. Do you need more novelty? Do you need more comfort? Do you need stronger stimulation? Do you need less pressure? Do you need to feel fresher? Do you need to slow down? That's a much more useful conversation than just telling women to prioritize intimacy and sending them off with the dessert menu. Because yes, date night is cute, but date night isn't going to automatically solve dryness. Date night doesn't automatically fix boredom. Date night doesn't automatically help if you are overstimulated and touched out and your brain has 17 tabs open. So for me, this video is not about pushing products for the sake of pushing products. This video is not sponsored. This is about being honest that sometimes solutions can be practical, playful, supportive, and yes, product-based. It's okay to include tools in your sex life. And that doesn't make your experience less real. It makes it more supported. And I genuinely believe in talking about this stuff in a more normal, useful, grown woman way. I'm gonna leave everything linked down below in the description box. You can shop online or you can shop in store. You can shop online and pick it up in store if you want. Shout out to Fascinations for giving me a code to give to you guys so you guys could save some money, honey. So if your sex life has been feeling a little flat, a little repetitive, a little forced, or just not as connected as you want it to feel, I hope that this video reminded you that it might not be about trying harder. It might just be getting smarter about support. More than date night, more than lingerie, more than checking a box. Sometimes it's allowing yourself to evolve and respond to what your body actually needs now. And I think that matters. Let me know in the comments, what do you think affects intimacy the most? Do you think it's stress? Do you think it's routine? Do you think it's feeling disconnected from your body? Also, I've been obsessed with this top. They come in different colors, but I have a Skims top that is similar to this, and I actually like this one way better. So it's kind of like a dupe, way cheaper, and it's so stretchy. Like, look at the stretch on this. I live for top, bottom, anything. If it's going on me, I want it to stretch. This is green tank top, and that's the back. Sorry, this is like an awful angle, but I just wanted to show you really quick because my camera's about to die. Comes in different colors. Short, it's not like a crop top, but it's like kind of cropped, you know? Sorry, my boobs are just in your face, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the top linked in the description box too. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more honest, real life conversations like this, make sure you subscribe and we'll hang out again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.